Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Well, silence. Sorry. Take two. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. And welcome to today's episode of Shays Wellness Club Q&A accountability sessions, okay? And we're here live going over some questions that you guys have been sending in and checking in with each other this week on how we did for our wellness journey. Are we seeing progress? Are we hitting our wins? Are we slacking in some areas? Let's talk about it. Okay. And this is a safe space here. For those that don't know, I am Shay Cuts and I am Sade Monroe, and I've lost over 60 pounds naturally thanks to proper dieting, exercise, and accountability. And I'm here to help anyone that's willing to learn and willing to put in the work and lose this weight naturally. I'm trying to prevent as many people as I can from um preventing as many people as I can from getting sick, from getting on the table and having to regret it. I am, trying to help perfect people's perception on food and bettering our relationship with food. A lot of us don't realize that the key and the source of us overeating, of us overindulging, is really a lot of it comes down to stress management, accountability as well. Like, hey, I might have an issue with food. I might have, I might be sad, so I'm eating too much of this, or I'm this and I'm eating too much of that, or even just not eating enough as well. That's definitely a part of this wellness journey. So I'm here to help us with that, because this is a journey for me as well. I am still always trying to perfect my journey. And it's been an amazing one. I've, unbig my back multiple times. So I understand the struggle of having to go through the constant body dysmorphia, the constant, oh my gosh, I just gained 10 pounds, I gotta lose it back, stuff like that. I've gained it, lost it, and I'm here to let you guys know that you are not alone in this wellness journey. So let's dive in, okay? One, I want to ask you guys, how has your week been going? I pray that it's been good. I pray it's been prosperous and all that good jazz. And let me try to see, do I have any stories for the week? From the week? I don't know. Today, I met someone who said they were dealing with anxiety and stuff. And I took upon myself to, we all prayed for her and stuff. And then I took her to the side, but I, gave her a hug and stuff and say, I understand. Anxiety is such a hard feeling to have. All feelings are hard to deal with, really. But dealing with anxiety, especially when it came to weight loss, it was nuts. I always thought that, what is it about, why can't I lose this weight? Is there something wrong with me? Do I really need to consider surgery? Is it really that bad that I need surgery? Feeling self-conscious, going out places, feeling insecure about being, the frumpy friend of the group, or like I tell people, that used to be my thoughts, So I understand, going through anxiety and having to deal with it whilst having to just be a girl and having to go through emotions already, Something that I loved about this journey is it did help me gain a lot of self-confidence, a lot of self-awareness as well. Sometimes you don't realize how good you have it and how different it is when you are, I don't want to say the fat friend, but I was never ugly, so I won't even say the ugly friend, because that doesn't equate to weight. But just being that person on both sides. Just like people used to like to vent to me and talk to me about stuff and talk about behind other people's backs around me and stuff, even when it came to work, friendships, whatever. And then, it just, you just realize like, wow, it really doesn't matter what other people think about you, because people are going to think what they want to think. You know what I mean? You can have all the confidence in the world, but have your confidence, because people aren't going to like you regardless. If someone doesn't like you because of your weight, that's on them. Because as long as your soul, as long as your personality is intact, your integrity is intact, it's going to make you stand out all the more for towards your goal. So when I talk to you guys about this wellness journey, first of all, of course, it's going to be starting in the kitchen. We all know that. This wellness journey is not going to start at the gym. And if you're someone that's listening to this today, I don't want you to start at the gym this week. Our wellness warriors, we know the drill. We have to start in the kitchen. That means going in our pantry first, on our fridges, going through a real list of things. Okay, what do I really need to get rid of? What has, like some of us try to avoid carbs. We don't have to avoid carbs altogether, but having, let me see, but just knowing what our triggers are when it comes to food, knowing what our triggers that comes to food, and what's really holding us back. That's what I'm really trying to say. So for instance, when we come to the pantry, I know that noodles have a lot of sodium in it, and it's not real food in my opinion. Granted, this is all fair use, and all this is from advice on how I went through my wellness journey, and do not take this as um that advice. But yes, being able to identify what is holding us back really does help. For instance, I used to be a big cereal person. So what I do, I try to make sure that I don't have cereal. Try to get my husband's gun out the way. I try not to make cereal. I try not to eat cereal too much, because what, we overindulge. For instance, when it comes to having sweets, and we all have that sugar tooth, that sweet craving that we can't avoid, we can't shake up off of us. One, I don't buy it at all, so I don't have to worry about it. But if I do have to buy it for the house, I keep it out of sight, out of mind. Sometimes you got to put in your head some rules that that help you stick to your wellness goal. So me, I know I can't eat a loaf of bread for real. I love me some bread and candy and stuff. So I got to keep that in the cupboard. I got to keep that in the shelf. I got to keep it above me where I do not see it, because that is what's going to like mess us up sometimes. So, so that is some tips too. And when it comes to the fridge, like I didn't realize excessive dairy, only certain dairies like me, certain dairies can break us out. Excessive anything is gonna be a hindrance in our journey. But a lot, replacing the good with the bad. And if you're someone that's looking for healthy meal swaps, healthy ways to, you know, make you feel like you're not on a diet, but having something to overcome that sugar craving, to overcome that stuff, inbox me, and I have a healthy snack swap list that you guys would love. With that being said, I would like to introduce you to Wellness Wednesdays and Fresh Fruit Fridays. For those that are in St. Louis, we have, if you're ever in a mood in the area and you like, man, I'm at work and I need a snack, but one, you're tired of going to vending machine all the time, and two, you're tired of eating those same nasty snacks that do nothing but make you feel hungry later, and you're eating like so much sugar you can't stand it. Well, I'll check out these fresh fruit cups by STL Green Eats, where this is a simple, cute cup you can keep on you, keep your snacks intact. Very nutritious, very easy to keep around with you, and it comes, So fresh fruit cups. Shay, she does, or STL Green Eats does fresh fruit Fridays. So if you ever want to get your snack on for the weekend or have your snacks ready for the work week, hit her up. Hit STL Green Eats up. It's a really good place to go for meal preps and all that stuff in St. Louis. With that being said, we're going to get on to the show and we are going to answer a couple questions. So, question of the day is, how do I lose weight without tracking everything or feeling obsessed? Now, this one was a great question because I used to have to make myself, I'm still sometimes dealing with it, to not be obsessed with measuring everything, with not being so strict on myself, because sometimes when I completely take certain things out the equation altogether, like for instance, I'm gonna go 2 months with no sugar at all, and then when I finally have sugar, I go nuts. So a good thing to counteract that is I like to have an alternative healthy snack that's, helps deal with the sugar cravings, such as these fruit cups that I love to have. Always have them with me. And then people always ask me, well, what's in your bowl, Shay? Because I take these, I love these for church. I love these for after the gym. Um, and I used to eat these as my snacks at work. When we used to do our 15-minute snacks, I would eat these when I would eat 5 times a day. This one has cantaloupe, cherries, and grapes. But having a healthy snack, an alternative to what you're like Snicker bars, me, I was a Reese's girl, and other things can really put you in a whole different mindset where you're like, okay, I had some sweet. I don't need nothing else right now. Cool. For instance, me, I love chocolate, so I had to find an alternative for that. But yes, how do I lose weight without tracking everything and feeling obsessed? So, well, what you track is what you get, is what you manage. So tracking isn't such a bad thing, but not every single thing gets tracked. Now we know, once we get acquainted with portion sizing, we're going to know what a, recommended portion of our meals are going to be. Like for instance, when I went to a dietitian and they told me to compare what I'm used to in portion sizing and what is recommended in portion sizing, it really was a mind-blowing experience for me when I realized that I was eating way too much. Okay. Like even when it comes to peanut butter, me, I love a peanut butter sandwich. I'm a peanut butter sandwich girl. And then when I realized 1 tablespoon is 180 calories, I'm like, you're telling me a spoonful is 180 calories and I put like 4 or 5 on my sandwiches? So, being able to track what's too much is going to be a big help as well. But you don't have to obsess over it. Like for instance, when I first started my wellness journey, I had used an app that I was able to put in what I was eating. It tracked and helped me calibrate my calories to the point where now I kind of can see and can track myself without having to actually get an app. But once you get there, you're going to be so amazed. And you're going to be so surprised, like, wow, well, this is where I've been messing up at. This is where I've been overindulging. This is where I've been like, well, that's why. Because what you track gets managed. So it's okay to track, just not everything. Like tracking, like people sometimes obsess about tracking their weight. Now, it's good to be mindful of our weight, and our weigh-in will be this week, guys. I'm going to say, because I wasn't able to do my weigh-in in the beginning of the month. So, our weigh-in will be this week. So, if you haven't already, make sure you do your weigh-in. Some things you just have to measure and manage. But for me, weighing myself every week is just a little too much for me. So I always say what makes this process even the most smooth and easy to manage is to do what works for you. If to me, when I was on the scale every week or something, it kind of made made me feel bad because it's like, how much can you really lose in a week? But if you do it once a month, you lose 3 pounds, 4 pounds, you'll be like, wow, you know? Because if you like, lose 1 pound in a week or 2 pounds in a week, if you're doing a calorie deficit, that is possible to lose a couple pounds in 1 week. But yeah, something should get measured. So we are doing our weigh in. I'm gonna say Wednesday. We're gonna do our weigh ins by Wednesday, February. I can't. I want to see if I could. I hope I didn't mess things up. Okay, and please let me know if you guys can hear me. Thank you. So huh. Now I see the little thing again. I wonder. Uh, Let me do this over. Oh my gosh. No, did I mess it up? No. Oh wow. Dang, I shouldn't even did that. Sorry guys. Gotta turn this off, turn it back on. But thank you guys for joining. Ways that I've lost over 60 pounds naturally during real, authentic events. I'm so mad because I got this lip gloss and it's not the color I wanted. That's another thing about this weight loss journey too. It's gonna definitely show you patience. Why did I mess it up? Ugh, that's so annoying. Wow. Okay, we're back. So happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Okay. And welcome to today's episode of Shays Wellness Club Q&A Part 2. We are back. As a matter of fact, I didn't think I that you could hear my last one, so I just started it over. But we are continuing on, and if you can listen to the last live because it was a lot of stuff gems in there. Okay, so the question of the day is, how do I lose weight without tracking everything or feeling obsessed? So, I know sometimes we're so tired of weighing food, logging in every bite, feeling guilty for eating out, and all or nothing mentalities, you know? So, I'm going to talk about how you can do rule of thumb things that can make this less of a tracking thing and more of a mindfulness thing. So, um, I thought of some good tips to help you guys from not feeling so obsessed having to track everything. So, I don't, so like a lot of you guys know that I don't weigh my food, but there are some things that you could do so you know that you're doing a proper portion. So, for instance, we have a hand portion, right? So we do a hand portion of fruit. We could do a hand portion of rice. We could do a hand portion of this and that. Usually, um, the size of our stomach is about this big, right? So, weighing food, instead of weighing food, you can go by the hand portion method. And if you want to learn more about that, please let me know or comment below what you guys like to hear. Um, Also, a great rule of thumb is protein first. You want to always, in every meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, to have your protein first. You want to always make sure you have a protein, a vegetable, and a starch, if I'm not mistaken. And that way, especially once you eat your protein first, you'll feel full first, easier. And if you're someone like me, number rule, number rule, number one rule when we're eating, I've lost weight eating 5 times a day, and I've lost weight eating 3 times a day. I've lost weight eating 2 times a day. So it really depends on what you eat. I was a very active person when I was over 230 pounds. I walked everywhere. I probably got over 5 to 10,000 steps a day, but my diet sucked. So that's how I realized that it was the food more important than the working out. You could work out for every week. You can go, I go to the gym like 5 times a week now. But if my eating habits aren't intact, that's where the weight gain starts. So that's how, and then stress and all that too, right? Stress, a lot of people don't realize stress adds a lot to your weight as well. Stress and proper sleep. So those things are so important to keep track. They are important to keep track of. You know, having a designated time to go to sleep every night does help your body set itself into a routine. Also, to be mindful of our emotions. That is so important. Being mindful of our emotions can really help us lose weight. Being self-aware is important because it helps us manage our emotions. Not suppressing them. I'm not saying to suppress your emotions. I'm more so suggesting that we just sometimes if we just take a minute, like say if something happens and we all have something where a coworker pisses us off, or kids drive you crazy or anything. Sometimes you just need a moment, even those 3-4 seconds, to be like let me breathe, okay? And there's a reason why some therapists suggest that. I'm no therapist, and this is all fair use only, but there's always a reason why. Sometimes you just have to take a deep breath. There's reason why there are people that do breath work. There's a reason why yoga is a very mindful type of thing, because once you take that deep breath, it really does help you just regulate your emotions, and it regulates your oxygen for those few seconds, to where you just like, you know what, I'm not gonna let this stress me out. Once I realized, hey, thanks for joining. Definitely proper sleep. Yes, coach. Definitely proper sleep is so important. It's such a game changer. And I'm learning how to do better with sleep as well. And you would think, oh, sleep is the easiest thing you could do. You just sleep. But it's so important on getting the proper amount of sleep. And people always ask, well, that depends on what you do. But a proper amount of sleep, or if someone can let me know in the comments what is proper amount of sleep, I would guess at least 7 hours. 5 hours is not me. I'm so used to 5 hours of sleep, but we really do need more than 5 hours of sleep. Just think about it. Out of 24 hours a day, only getting 5 hours of sleep is just not enough. Especially if you're standing a lot, you have to deal with a lot of different activities and things, and also how to 7 to 8. 7 to 8 is like, people that get the proper amount of sleep are less cranky, more self-aware, usually more energetic, and a lot of those things. So if we all can even add getting more proper sleep, that would be a great way for us to maintain our wellness. Because a lot of us don't realize that, like, a lot of people don't dream. And this is a fun I guess a fun fact about me. I didn't realize that when I used to indulge in smoking, I didn't really I didn't really dream, right? And I used to like listening, like reading about like dream interpretation and stuff, but you'll drive yourself crazy trying to decipher a dream. But just by dreaming helps you with the going through a lot of issues that you didn't know you were having psychologically. Say if you're running from something, you're running from something in real life, or trying to avoid things, or even trying to see people in your dream that you haven't seen in a long time. It's just really good to learn to not learn how to dream, but to tap into a deep sleep so you can dream properly. When you're able to dream, you're able to deal with certain emotions that you don't have to suppress when you're awake, if that makes any sense. So think about it, like, what was the last dream I had? A lot of people like to, but dealing with dreaming is important. And I didn't realize, since I quit doing that I dream now. I remember dreams from last week. Like, it is so weird how the brain works. It's crazy. But yes, weighing food, hand portions, making sure that we're getting our protein in first. Protein is so important in our weight loss journey. Why? Because we want to lose fat, not muscle and fat, right? Something I realized when I first um was losing weight. I looked great and everything, but I lost a lot of muscle as well because I just did cardio. So what was a great thing to do as I went into my goaler weight, I don't know, is prioritizing protein first. And I didn't realize um that protein was so important for the muscles and stuff, because once I prioritized that, I started seeing my arms form, I started seeing my butt lifted a little more, I started seeing my legs toning as well. So that's very important. And also you don't have to log in every bite. Just being mindful of what we're eating will be the game changer. When I tell you, okay, instead of fried, I'm gonna do baked. Simple change like that can change completely, from your skin, from your skincare, from your hair, from crankiness. Because believe it or not, fried foods make us feel a certain type of way. We might feel good at first, but after we eat it, after a while, as if it's setting in, all that grease in our stomach, and our stomach trying to break it down. Then we're wondering why we're not going to the bathroom as much as we need to. It's because of what we're eating. And once we get into us cleaning up our eating habits, it's going to open a whole door of gratitude, of awareness, of better sleep, of better experiences altogether. Okay. Um, Eating patterns versus perfection. So we have to, yes, we have to make sure that we don't have to be perfect when it comes to eating habits. We just need consistency. If I ate, it's 7 days out of the week. If I ate good, cleaner, more aware, 4 or 5 of those days, 5 of those days especially, you've done a great job. Okay. Now, I'm not saying have 2 days of cheat days. I'm just saying the more consistent you are with your eating habits, the easier this process is going to be. You take 30 days, 60 days of consistent eating baked foods instead of fried foods, healthier carbs, um, mindful sweets, more smoothies, more juices, more vegetables every meal. 60 days, you're going to lose weight and not even realize it. And of course, everybody's going to know this before you. So don't obsess over the mirror, and don't obsess on the scale, because the scale can be tricky sometimes, especially if you're someone like me that lift weights and do stuff like that. Your muscle does add weight too. So you just got to be mindful of that. You want to be mindful of, how does my body look in the mirror? Does it really look, you know? And someone asked me, do waist trainers really work? Now, I want you to hold my hand when I tell you this. Okay? Do waist trainers really work? It's a great question. My answer is only if you work with it. Just like everything else, just like these medications, just like vitamins, just like a lot of things that promote weight loss, fat loss. Are you working with the items? Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you the way I did. I started my journey with a waist trainer, thinking I didn't need to eat right or go work out. I was like, oh, as long as I went out, I had that curve. I look good. But then looking at my photos, and I was like, had my hand on my hips, thinking I looked all curvy and stuff. I looked like I couldn't breathe. Okay. I looked like I couldn't breathe because, first of all, it was so uncomfortable to wear. And then I didn't wear them working out. It's ideal. Well, for me, I wear them. I wear them when I work out. I wear them when I am out running errands. And if I'm moving furniture, I move furniture with my husband sometimes. I always try to make sure I have that waist trainer on. Now, people say, well, you put that waist trainer on, but then you go back to your regular body after. Well, that could be the case. But if you're eating right and exercising along with your waist trainer, it's going to make your body form the way you want it to. And I don't know, I feel like when you use proper diet or proper just eating and exercise, it's going to be a game changer having a waist trainer. And also, a waist trainer is really good for curbing appetite. And also, it really helped me to get used to my posture. I didn't realize how much, like, you see how I am. Well, I got this on right now, but you guys see how, like, I'm sitting kind of proper. But before I used to use a waist trainer and stuff, I was like this a lot. I used to have that little hunch back there. Oh my God. So a waist trainer is really good for perfecting your posture. And once you perfect your posture, that kind of helps engage your core, that helps keep your back upright, and also give yourself open your chest up to breathe. So the waist trainer does have its perks, but just using it without diet or exercise, you might as well just not wear it at all. Because I used to wear shapewear under my clothes, but then I realized wearing shapewear under my clothes made me look pregnant because it kind of rounds your stomach and not sucks it in. So that's how I feel on waist trainers. But yes, making sure we're eating versus perfection. Consistently eating, better is always going to be the best choice possible. Okay, it is very hard to be consistent, but the rewards in anything is through consistency. When you're consistent at your job, when you're consistent with your kids, when you're consistent with your spouse, when you're consistent with your eating, when you're consistent with the gym, there's nothing but rewards that lead to that. You never hear many people say, "Oh, because I was consistent, I didn't get what I want." I've never heard that. I've never heard someone say, "Because I was consistent, I couldn't get what I want." You know, for me, and for anyone watching this, being consistent has always got me promotions. Being consistent has always got me the weight loss I wanted. Being consistent got me the man that I wanted. The consistency has always been able to get invited in rooms that people wouldn't think I qualified for. Like consistency is where the money is. Consistency is where the weight loss is. Consistency is where the marriage is. Consistency is where the happiness is. So you have to make sure that whatever you do, stay consistent. Okay. Um, Especially when it comes to your eating habits and your because it's just a trickle effect. When you're consistent with eating habits and exercise, that makes your mental health state so much better, so much sharper. You're more focused on everything. You have more of a plan for things. You're more consistent with things. You're easier to be around. You're not as snappy. You're not as a troll. You know what I mean? I used to get all the time like, you don't act like do you really act like that in real life? Like happy? I'm like, and when I think about it now, I'm like, you mean happy? Like, I'm sorry, you're not used to being around happy people. And I say this all the time in our journey that you're going to see people in life that are going to be jealous of your journey, no, don't want to see you go up in your journey, and also make you feel bad for sticking into your journey. Oh, you mean you went to the gym? You've been to the gym 3 times this week. You don't need to keep going. Those people we don't need around all the time. You know what I mean? We need people like, hey, when can I go to the gym with you? Because I need to get disciplined. I need to get better at what I'm doing. I'm looking for a future that it's going to reward me from what you give it, and that's what consistency really is part of. So consistency over perfection any day of the week. Consistency over perfection. Okay, you don't have to do it perfect. You don't have to cook every meal like Chef Boyardee, like Julia Childs, like we can't cook. All of us can't cook like grandma. I'm working on it. But even with that, our I might even won't say that. But a lot of our old habits don't need to come with us. We don't have to fry everything. We don't have to put pork in every greens and cabbage that we make. We don't have to have so much cornbread with all this sugar in it. We really have everything in us right now to make the best choices possible for our lives in general. When it comes to money, when it comes to where we work, to where who we marry, to the kids we have the choice to do whatever we want to. And choosing the proper foods and what we drink and what we eat and what we put in our bodies and how we worship God and all this other stuff. Oh man, it's a full circle effect. Um, wow. I'm sorry. I like this question. That's why I've been on it for a little bit. But and this is the last point on this question. Mindful eating without being restrictive. Mindful eating without being restrictive is going to be such a game changer for you because you're going to eat properly like it's second nature. For instance, I take vitamins every morning. And now, like, say for my fitness, I take creatine every morning, right? Like, second nature. Like, it's my routine. Like, if I don't, like, after I brush my teeth, detox, vitamins, second nature. So, you know, being mindful of your routine is going to be really important in this journey as well. Having a routine to stick to, even if it's one or two things, in the morning, you get up, take your detox. A detox is really good to have in the morning in my case because one, it starts burning fat early. Two, it helps curb your appetite early if you don't eat that early in the morning. And three, a daily habit turns into consistency. Consistency turns into the reward. Okay. Mindful eating without being restrictive, you want to, hey, I'm going to bake from now on. Restriction, you don't have to be restricted on what you bake with. When I first started my journey, I baked pork steaks. I baked I air fried bacon, stuff like that. You don't have to be so restrictive as long as you are mindfully eating and stuff like that. Now, one, I took away pork. Like pork, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. But because to me, pork kind of adds to stomach fat, adds to stress, adds to high blood pressure, and it just adds to so many issues. Why? Because let's all admit pork is probably the worst meat we can consume. Why? Because pigs eat whatever. And it's so mass produced, pumped up stuff. But, anyways, I digress. Now, the next question I had was, is my metabolism broken or am I getting older? So that's a great question. So from someone that's oh my gosh, I was about to say the 3'5", I'm 3'4". Um so this is a question for the ladies, especially over 30. Because when you're younger, your metabolism is excellent. Man, all you gotta do is go a month straight, 3 weeks straight, and your metabolism just gets back into where it's supposed to be, right? But for us over 30, sometimes it's a struggle. So, how do I fix my metabolism after 30? Well, it goes back to being mindful of what we're eating, but also burning more calories than we consume. Okay? It's always helpful to burn more calories than you consume. So, how do you burn more calories? Add more walks to your day, add an extra day to your workout week. Um, Adding, exercises that you like. Go to classes during the week and then making sure that you are incorporating the proper foods with that. For instance, me, I take 4 classes a week. Two different ones, basically, but 2 days a week. So that helps me um speed up my metabolism because I'm burning more than I consume. Why weight loss is harder in our 30s? Well, because we go through more stress, and a lot of our stress goes into our weight, and it's hard to manage stress after 30. So when you're younger, you're like, that's whatever. But when we're after 30, it's kind of harder for us, and we have to work harder. That's why I always advise our younger ladies, younger than 30, to start now. I'm so thankful that after high school, I never really stopped fitness. Like I always knew that I had to go to a gym. Like after high school, I knew I always had to be active in some kind of way, not even realizing about weight gain, weight loss, but it was always in us. And we humans are an active people. We are born to walk places. We are born to be active. We are born to, be strong. We are born to lift things and take care of kids and stuff like that. So it is so important that we are mindful of this as early as possible. That's why I'm so thankful that all that I learned it early on. I always say to myself sometimes the only I don't have many regrets in life, if any, really. But a regret I would have is being obese when I was in my early 20s, because that was the time where I would have probably been my absolute thinnest, skinniest, and stay that way, right? But me not being mindful of me eating fast food more than anything. Me, my early 20s, I didn't cook. People used to even tell me, and I don't know why I let the people get in my head like that. That's a bad thing about your 20s. You let too many people get in your head. But I used to get, you don't even look like you cook, Sade, and this and that. Say, oh, you don't got a man, you don't cook, and stuff like that. Or, oh, you didn't grow up with your grandma, so you don't know how to cook right, stuff like that. But once you know how to cook and know how to cook for yourself consistently, that's the key right there. Because you control what goes in your mouth. You control most of it. You control what seasonings are used, if it's breaded or not, what kind of flour you're using, stuff like that is so important in our wellness weight loss journey. Because when we eating fast food, we don't know what they putting in this stuff. We don't know what. At least we have the luxury of going to a store and say hormone free or free range or whatever, whether they're lying to us or not. At least we feel better with us cooking stuff fresh. A lot of these fast food places don't even clean their meat or really properly cook food the way they're really supposed to. Because man, I went through a rabbit hole on YouTube of like restaurants and how like them getting inspected and stuff. I'm like, ooh, okay, well, I'm glad I slowed down on the fast food in the restaurants. But all that plays up account, especially us after 30. Metabolism isn't broken, it just adapts. That's all of what this is. Our metabolism isn't breaking, it adapts. Muscle and metabolic currency is going to be so important. After 30, and people used to tell me this in my 20s, when I was in my 20s all the time, but the 30s when you get your grown woman body, meaning those muscles you can grow and make your body look so sexy, so good, and you can get so strong, and you'll be at your not fighting weight, but you can look really good after 30 if you focus on nutrition, fitness, protein intake, and being mindful, and just having a clear head, because there's so much going on in this world where it's so many things to get stressed over. I want you to hold my hand again. Hold my hand when I tell y'all this. We cannot be responsible for things we can't change. We can't be obsessed and stress over things we cannot change. It's hard to realize sometimes, but once I really took the time to say, you know what, I can't help how someone else thinks of me, no matter how amazing I am. I can't help someone's opinion of me, no matter how many good things that I do. No matter how much I smile, somebody just won't like me smiling. No matter how cheerful I am to say good morning, everybody's not going to be happy to say good morning back. So we have to learn, especially the older we get, that's how our elders are so awesome and dope, because they don't care anymore what people think. They're like, I lived on this earth 10 years. I don't care what you got to say, and I'm going to curse you out with a smile. And that's their secret. They stop caring what people think. And once you stop caring what people think, your heart feels lighter. You don't have so much weight on your shoulders. Just do the best you can, being the best human being you can, and just remain integral. And that's how, you got to get through life. And that helps your metabolism, because then once your metabolism is a good space, then your cortisol levels are in a good space. And then we can get on to being in a great life. And being happy is not, I don't want to say a monolith. Being happy isn't such a fairy tale. It's a real thing. It's a possibility that you could have a happy life. Does it mean perfect? No. Does it mean perfect and happy every day? No. But once you put into your mind that I'm going to take care of my fitness, I'm going to control what I eat, that's going to be the game changer a lot of us need it. Like, that was the game changer for me. Once I start eating right and exercising, that helped with emotional issues, that helped with anxiety issues, that helped a lot with and that's why I should have told the lady today who told me that she suffered from anxiety. Like, the gym is so good with that. Grieving after my mom passed last year helped so much with my grieving process and everything. So it's a game changer, and it's different for everybody. That's why people shouldn't worry about who's looking at who at the gym, because we're all in our zone for a reason, escaping something, avoiding something, trying to deal with something, having a goal to reach, having a goal to, we are all there for a reason. Just like in church, we are all there for a reason. Stop thinking that we're all getting judged and, oh, look at her and what she wearing that for and all this stuff. We are in our own zone for a reason. Okay. And the gym and eating right is a great way to better yourself. The cheapest way to better yourself. The most cost-saving way to better yourself. And to also, reach out to a wellness strategist. Hi, I'm Shay Charday. And I'm here to help us lose weight naturally with real authentic advice from someone that's really been there, lost 60 pounds naturally. And if you're someone that wants to join us, the Wellness Warriors, check out shayswellnessclub.com, where we have a lot of our wellness challenges, a lot of healthy recipes and stuff like that you guys can really enjoy. And also check us out on Facebook. We have a really cool community on Facebook, Shays Wellness Club. Okay. Under eating slows the progress. So a lot of us think that if we don't eat at all, that we are gonna just lose weight, stay skinny, and all this stuff. Now, I feel like I've tried almost all the diets, so I can tell my wellness warriors the real. Okay, I've been fat. I've done fasting where I only ate once a day. I've done fasting where I only ate twice a day. I mainly intermittent fast, but sometimes under eating is definitely not going to help. Now, even intermittent fasting, you still should be on a calorie deficit, a caloric deficit, because especially if you're working out, you don't want to starve your body as well. You want to give your body fuel to keep going for the next day. That's why after the gym and you eat some good, you feel like you're on cloud nine, because you're giving your body what it's craving, which is healthy foods with good protein and all that good jazz. But under eating does slow the progress of metabolism, and we want to speed it up. Cardio only is not the answer. And a lot of us really think that cardio, but that doesn't only, not, I don't want to say tire us out, but cardio alone without, with lifting some kind of weights, calisthenics, stuff like that, is going to take away your muscle too. And we need our muscle, okay? When we are in our 60s, we need muscle. Why? Because when we get our groceries and go up them stairs, we're gonna need our glutes, we're gonna need our hamstrings, we're gonna need our quads, we're gonna need our calves, we're gonna need our arms. That stuff is no joke, okay? You don't want to be 63, 64 and can't carry a gallon of water. Hi, this is my co-host that loves to be with me. Get you a gallon of water in a day if you can. half your body weight in ounces, by the way, because that helps push all the toxins out. It helps you be regular. And if you need one of these, please inbox me and I'll send you a link for this as well. Am I late? I'm a little late. But what I like about having one of these is it gives you the times on when to get it done. I start as early as I can, 6, 7 in the morning, and then I work my way down. And that's how I stay consistent with water. So, like for me, consistency is key and routine is key. So, in the morning or throughout the day, if nothing else, I try to make sure I get some kind of workout in 5 times a week, a gallon of water a day, and vitamins in my detox. Consistency loves your body loves consistency. Long story short, okay? Um, okay. I'm gonna do one more question, then we will be going. Uh, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, okay? Okay, this one's a good one that I could relate to, okay? Why do I do great all week, but then fall short on the weekends? Listen, I understand that. And you know what's crazy? Because a weekend can really mess up your gains and progress from the week. Um, this is a silent struggle that I have dealt with for sure. Over restricting during the week can definitely add to this. You don't want to restrict yourself so bad that when the weekend come and you got extra time and you're bored and you in front of the TV on the phone scrolling and stuff and you just eating and snack. So you don't want to be over restrictive of yourself during the week. Like once a month you can have a really good sweet treat. Um, you know, or even learning different ways to make sweet treats. So this week, my goal is to make an oven bake brownie. Okay, because my grandma, I'm going to see my grandmother soon. And she said she said to me today, well, maybe when Sade come over, we can get some muffins and we can, have some muffins and stuff. My grandma loves her sweet. So this week, I think I'm going to work on how to make a good oven bake because I want to make a healthy muffin. I want to be able to make something where I can eat it and not feel like, man, did I just eat that? So I'm going to learn how to make a healthy oven bake. And if you have any suggestions, please put it in the comments and let me know that you can hear me as well. But yes, my grandma was like, well, maybe she'll bring some muffins and we can have some muffins for when I come over. And I don't mind something sweet, but I want to do a healthier thing. So I'm going to do a healthier oven bake and I'm going to see how that goes. Wish me luck. Because if she likes it, I'm selling it, okay? Because ain't nothing like a healthy sweet treat, okay? Because one muffin could be like 300 calories. And I'm like, and then all that sugar and stuff, I want to make something that's delicious but nutritious. And that's my goal for me and STL Green Eats. Okay. No plan for social life. Oh, yes. So when you don't have a plan for your weekend, that's a big part of overindulging too. If you're just bored, don't have nothing to do, don't have anything planned, don't have anything to take your mind off of food. Because sometimes we have to really take our mind off of food. Like when we're bored, that's why when we're bored, we're like, oh, let me eat something. Because I definitely have done that. I'm like, I'm bored, let me eat a bowl of cereal. Nope. You got to think of something else to occupy your time. So, no plans for a social life can definitely add to falling apart on the weekends of our wellness journey. So we have to just be mindful of keeping each other, holding each other accountable, right? Emotional eating disguised as treats. A lot of us don't realize that we are emotionally eating, disguising things as treats. Okay, and I've noticed none of this that I'm talking about is nothing I've never felt before, because I understand emotionally eating, like, oh my god, if I feel better, I will feel so much better if I have this treat right now. If I have this ice cream, I'm gonna feel so much better. But then when you think about it, do you really feel better? Like, I'm gonna tell you a story of restraint. So today, when I go to my church, I get assigned to get snacks from the vending machine. And I'm the young one, whatever. So I don't mind going up and down the stairs. I need the steps anyway. So I go down there, and they always want the sweet treats because it's cheap at church. It's like 55 cents for a bag of chips. And I'm like, man, you can't get that nowhere. Anyways, so I go downstairs, and then I got two orders to get something. I got a bag of cookies and a bag of chips. Actually, two bag of chips and two bag of cookies. So I'm like, man. And it's change only, right? So I go down there and I'm like, I want to get my indulgence if I were to get something is either a Reese's or a honey bun. And it took the life of me to be like, no, Sade, you are not gonna have this. You have willpower. Sometimes, because it be a lot of times where I'm like, well, if they getting one, I'm gonna get something. Go in the vending machine and get my treat. But then I go in the car, eat my treat, scarf it down, because I'd be like, ooh. And I'd be like, dang, why did I do that? I really could have just had some fruit. And thankfully, I remembered I brought fruit to church with me for a reason. So when I have to go downstairs to the vending machine, I don't get something. Would I rather get a bowl of fruit like this from STL Green Eats? Or should I get this 300 calorie Reese's, 330 if I'm not mistaken, 27 grams of 2 peanut butter cups, and then I might break out after because I can't eat milk chocolate like that. So being mindful of your choices during your wellness and weight loss journey is going to be so important, because that can be the real switch for you to lose weight naturally within a few weeks, or you taking months and years to lose certain weight. I've lost 30 pounds in a year before. Sometimes it was hard. It's hard for some people to lose that in a couple years. You know what I mean? So that's why I say choices are so important. And comment if these tips have helped or anything like that. Let me know your favorite tip as well. And like this video for, tap this video, like this for a friend, because this can help me get in the algorithm of someone that really needs this weight loss wellness advice. And then having flexible structure is going to be so important in this wellness journey, because being flexible in this wellness journey, you're going to have to be able to, you don't have to restrict yourself so much that you just can't eat anything bad. Just like my wellness warriors, I say, hey, it's nothing wrong with going out to eat sometimes. It's being mindful of what you order is going to be the thing that breaks or makes us. Like, for instance, when I go out to eat, I try to eat more salads. And if I'm going to eat a salad, I'm going to eat a good chicken salad or something like that. Nothing too restrictive. Or if I'm gonna eat a protein, I'm gonna do a salmon and sweet potato. I love sweet potatoes. In this journey, you're gonna find like healthy stuff that you're gonna love. You're gonna be like, what? Sweet potatoes are this good? Even having sweet potato fries instead of regular sweet potatoes, you're like, wait a minute, why have I not just done this instead of what I've been used to? So, give yourself grace in this wellness journey, because this is a forever thing. This wellness journey is a forever thing. And the more we realize we really have the power to make a life change like that as far as food, it's going to be a game changer. Then 6 weeks, 4 weeks turn into 6 weeks, 6 weeks turn to 8 weeks, 8 weeks turn into 14 weeks, and then bam, summertime come, and you be like, wow, because I was mindful this month, that month, this month, that month. Now I'm in my swimsuit. My swimsuit fit real nice this year, and I want that for my wellness warriors. I want us to. I mean, not that we don't feel confident when we're bigger, but even whenever weight we lose, we go like, "Dang, I could have been did this," and still eat good. People think that because you eat healthy, you eat trash and you eat fake food. Now we eat good over here, okay? This baked salmon is fire, okay? This sweet potatoes, like I do mashed sweet potatoes, delicious, okay? Baked chicken, like what I like people ask always, because people know that I cook, so they ask me on Sundays, Sade, what do you cook? So last night I made like baked drumsticks with sweet potatoes and long rice. Bam. Get you a nice size portion, not overdo it, not try to eat too late because I have a problem with that eating too late. But as long as you are flexible in your structure, you will be fine. Okay. It's not the end of the world if you eat, 8 o'clock, as long as you're eating something that's going to nourish you and not eat no fried foods and highly saturated, bad oils, stuff like that. And let me know if these tips are helpful and share this to a friend if you can. So I want you guys to come with me next week, 6:15 Sundays, Central Standard Time. And our question I'm going to be answering is, how do I stay consistent when my life is stressful, busy, and unpredictable? And a lot of us go through that all the time, having to work through stress and still have to maintain a body that we want and a life that we want. So that's what we're going to get into next week. Thank you guys for joining. Check out STL Green Eats for all your meal plans, meal preps, and fresh fruit bowls that we have available, and Shays Wellness Club, where we help each other stay accountable and lose weight naturally through real advice and strategy. If you want to hire me as your wellness strategist, I am here and doing one-on-one calls this week. So inbox me for that, guys and females as well. So thank you guys for joining. I love you. Be mindful, stay kind, give someone a compliment this week, put God first, and put your fitness first and your wellness. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Bye. Yeah. Oh, I got a new follower. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. uh, oh, okay. Check out shayswellnessclub.com.